Now, Chris Ferguson there in first position. I know he plays really tight. King, Jack of spades. Is that too tight?
Not necessarily. I mean, position is everything in these games. I think it was if his ace jack, he would have played it. And it's just you've got to play how you're comfortable. And this is a very, you're not just playing any game. You're playing against some of the toughest players. So you can justify it, even though I think it is a little too tight. I can justify it.
Well, Gus Hansen likes his King 9 offsuit in late position. He buys himself the button. And Ivy, always defending his big blind. He's going to defend with the ace 5 offsuit. Tough hand to play out of position, isn't it?
It is. It's very difficult to hit a flop where you're comfortable.
Like here, obviously, he's got the best hand. He's well in command of the hand, but how does he know it?
2,500 called. Check.
Does Gus fire again?
No, he's done with this, obviously. You look at a flop like that, ace 10-10. If Ivy called you with any kind of hand, you can't beat him.
I mean, Ivy's sick enough to float him out of position just to call with no hand, but...
And steal it on the river.
Yeah. I mean, it will go through Gus's mind that he'll be thinking now, what could I beat? He doesn't even beat King Jack, unfortunately, or... he can beat Queen Jack, is like the only hand he can beat.
On a spot like that, Hansen almost has to raise or fold, right?
No, not necessarily. There are times when you can call.
Call with King High?
Yeah, you can call with King High.
You'd feel sick if Ivy turns over King Jack, though.
Yeah.
Buttons in front of Phil Helmuth. Action on Patrick Antonius. And his shaved head.
All of you were here. But I asked, I asked him, he said he was not...
It's just not fair.
Raise.
Good-looking guy, lucky with the ladies, lucky at the tables.
Gus?
I was talking about Antonius, actually.
Yeah.
But of course, Gus Hansen voted one of the sexiest people by People magazine.
Was that before Patrick came into poker?
I think so.
Does Phil Helmuth get in that list, or Chris Ferguson?
Raise 3,400.
I'm going to ignore that comment.
Total bet. Called. 100 more, thank you. Fold.
Ivy calls. Tom Dwan's raise here on the button. And we're going to see this 4 ways.
No, I have some good reasons, David.
And you'll change.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I know it's not a
Antonius with a very interesting and creative hand there. And he could get himself in trouble here. We have 2 flush draws out there. Dwan with the ace-high flush draw. Antonius with the 5-high. If a heart comes, he could get himself in a lot of trouble.
This could be really ugly.
Ray still here?
Well, instead he's gotten lucky and he's caught a pair of 3s.
And the lead. Is that Patrick betting, Durr calling, Tom Dwan, and everyone else getting out of the way? He could even raise it, Tom Dwan.
Yeah, of course. You call him Durr there. That's his online name, which is where he made his name. Playing at full tilt, making millions of dollars.
Yeah. Anyone familiar with online poker knows the name Durr. He battles David Benjamin and Phil Ivey at full tilt all the time.
Six of diamonds on the river changes nothing. Action is on Patrick Antonius. Probably thinking, do I need to bet this?
I mean, we talk all the time about how crazy these guys are, but they've learned so much about poker and it's such a deep thinking. And it's for anyone at home watching this, just the amount of thought and education you can go to in poker. If you want to be there and improve it, it's all there for you. And these decisions so difficult.
Well, both these players take this game beyond levels that we've never seen. pot is $33,000. Action on Patrick Antonius.
The game's improving, and it's developing and evolving. And you can say in the same way that the golfers these days and the tennis players would match up very well against the counterparts of 30, 50 years ago. So are these poker players, and there's a good case for saying that these are some of the best players of all time.
Well, you see here, Tom Dwan, only 22 years old. And he is playing with some of the best, and he is thinking, obviously he has to bluff at this pot. He's only got ace high.
Betting 23.3.
Well, I must say firstly that Tom Dwan looks very nervous there.
3,300.
And he bets $23,000 here. And can Antonius call this?
I mean, he's played a lot online, Tom, but his body language is not one of confidence there, is it?
Well, it's one thing interesting to say. Durr is primarily an online player. Does that affect his live play here?
Well, I mean, it's easy to say when you're seeing the cards, but I would be able to pick that up off the table, and I think Patrick might be able to too.
Pot is $56,000, $23,000 to call, and this would be a world-class call from Antonius.
When the table's been showing a lot of bluffs, it makes it more likely that someone else is bluffing, and it might help Patrick make what would be an amazing call, but no.
Well, he doesn't make that amazing call. He's going to toss it in the muck, and that's really the first thing that has gone Tom Dwan's way. It's been a terrible day for him so far, but he wins a big pot, and he needed that. Buttons in front of Phil Ivey. Phil Hellmuth is taking a walk, taking a little bit of a break. Action on Alezra. Not going to play it.
Check, check. 8 of clubs on the turn.
Now they're playing seven-handed. Does that change anything?
7 to 8 is it is a difference. It does mean each hand slightly increases in value by about a considerable percentage. So it does make a difference to the action. There'll be more action.
Well, we get a raise here from Gus Hansen, 2,200. Ivey's going to call on the button with the King 8 suited. And is that more about playing his position than playing the cards?
There's implied odds with that hand. And you're not going to go broke if a king comes.
Well, Hansen has outflopped him. He's caught second pair.
See, this works much better. At least now they have a chance.
We get a very easy bet from Hansen, and Ivey throws it away.
Much better play. I mean, people don't do it often enough.
Of course, we get a look at a chip count here. Benjamin still in the lead, up over $103,000. Chris Ferguson quietly up over $50,000. Tom Dwan still down $82,000, but Patrick Antonius down $113,000.
This is the biggest televised cash game anywhere in Europe, and the poker we've seen has certainly proved why. I'm sure you'll join us after the break as the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game continues. There are some cool heads gambling some big pots here at the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 million cash game. So let's hand you straight back to your commentators, Roland de Wolf and David Tuckman.
Buttons in front of Ferguson. You gotta get a limpers around there, but Ivey's gonna punish the limpers. He's going to raise this up. He buys himself the button, and he's got a pair. And Patrick Antonius is definitely being a little bit more active here. He's going to call this with Queen 9.
And he doesn't have a position after the flop. He's going to have to be acting first every time.
Of course, Benjamin in there as well. with the queen 8. And he's flopped the flush draw, Benjamin.
Check, check.
He would have. Could have. Yeah, one more. I don't know if it's a good news or bad news, but we're getting Mike Madison.
The tightest player is leaving the game.
We're getting Mike Madison instead of Gassi. Instead of
It's
Gassi.
me. It's me, the tightest player is leaving.
He's leaving and we're getting Mikey.
Mike Madison.
Mikey, probably one of the best.
Mike the Mouth. He'll be joining us shortly. Pot is now 25,000. To the turn. Inconsequential 3 of spades. It's not a bad card for Ivy. He's now picked up a gut shot.
Yeah, he does.
And look at that. It goes check, check on the turn, and Ivy makes his set. He didn't need it, but it's going to make him feel better.
Well, it is, and